A very good evening to you, and many thanks for joining us tonight on The Mandate. On The Mandate, we talk about good spirited public service, but more essentially, our strategic planning, especially by those elected by Nigerians in the 2023 general elections, are gearing up to lead. I mean, naturally, leading is a huge responsibility, one which I hope the next set of leaders that have emerged from the elections are willing and eager to embrace. I reckon we'll find out soon enough if my guest or guest for tonight, as it will be, are ready for the huge responsibility of leadership. My name is Namdi Odipo. Welcome. We begin tonight's conversation with someone described by many as a professional game changer. Probably because he seems to have done pretty well for himself in the private sector. But even the strongman himself must acknowledge that the March 18 governorship election that he won was a fierce battle. And like most battles, he does or would have some scars from the contestation, fierce contestation, but he is currently reeling in his electoral victory. My guest is Dr. Peter Mbah, the governor-elect of Enugu State. Your Excellency, thank you so much for joining us on the mandate, and congratulations, by the way.
Thank you very much, Nandi. Thank you for having me.
Glad you could join us tonight. Your Excellency, I am sure your family, associates, friends, and supporters are all excited about your emergence, the outcome of the March 18 elections, and of course, they would want to be part of the inauguration come May 29. Incidentally, May 29 is a Monday, and you and I know what happens on Mondays with the sit at home order in the entire southeastern region. So I wonder if your inauguration, not just yours, but that of other states in the southeast, but since we're speaking to you, would like to know if you intend to have a private or a public ceremony, or you would rather use that occasion to make a statement on the state of play with regards to the legal iPod directive, nonetheless very effective. Which way are you leaning, private or public ceremony?
So the ceremony of May 29th is going to go on. We are going to have an inauguration. We are going to have an event that everybody will be very happy to participate in. Then we will come out and be part of the event.
How is the general ambience in Enugu State since the declaration of the results? Of course, I know you've had the opportunity to go around the state. I did see pictures of you moving around to acknowledge the support that you got from different parts of the state. What are the feelers that you've been getting since your emergence, and especially with the presentation of the certificates of return? Give us a sense of the general ambience in Enugu, not just the metropolis now, but from different parts of the state.
The Enugu are very excited, and they are happy that their voices were heard at the elections, and indeed they are all looking forward to what the tomorrow holds for them.
Oh,
We've also, as you know, in the build up to the campaign, we have been able to explain to them what that tomorrow is. The tomorrow that we say in our tagline is here.
please go ahead, Your Excellency. Please go ahead. We can hear you clearly.
Okay, so I'm having some challenges.
Are you getting feedback from the earpiece that you have on? Is that why?
Okay, so we've talked, is echoing, so I'm just hearing myself.
Oh, okay, that's because there's a bounce back
Hello?
from the audio.
Can you stop it from echoing?
Yes, let's try and see if the engineers will be able to do that. Let's try and okay, great. Can you hear me clearly, more clearly now? I'm getting. Is it okay now?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you now.
Perfect. Please go ahead. You were giving us a sense of the if the feelers around Enugu State. Please just go ahead and continue along that line of thought.
So our people in Enugu are excited and they are happy. They are happy that we emerged and they are looking forward to the campaign promises that we made to them. And those campaign promises, as you already know, are actually actionable plans with actionable timelines. You know, we've promised in the Enugu that in 180 days, water will be flowing in their homes. So we're looking forward to that. We've also made commitments as to grow the economy in a way that has never happened in the state before. We want to drive the economy of Enugu State from being a public sector economy to a public sector to a private sector economy. We want to be able to lift those people that are in the pit of poverty out of that pit of poverty. So we want to achieve a 0% rate in our poverty headcount index. And of course, we are on a mission to make Enugu State the most attractive destination for investment, business, living, and tourism. These are promises that our people are looking forward to.
Okay, it does look like that you do have plenty to do and you have plenty of big plans as well. You know, I did a quick check on Enugu State in terms of the Human Development Index, and interestingly, I noticed that Enugu is 10th in Nigeria in terms of Human Development Index. This already gives you an advantage. Are there perhaps some, in terms of potential and some of the development projects that you've mentioned, do you think there are inherent potentials that you can build on to fast track this development that you've envisaged for Enugu State? Your Excellency, did you get that?
I think if I heard you well, you were talking about the potential of Enugu State.
Very well, please. Yes, that's exactly what I asked. That would help you fast track the.
Yes, so.
Yes. Yes, please go ahead.
We're going to be building on already what we have on ground, and we're very proud of that heritage. A heritage, as you know, Enugu has played consequential roles in the development of this country, right from in the 20s or even before the 20s when coal was discovered here and rail lines were built. And again, you can't not talk about the development of Nigeria without copious mentioning of Enugu. So, and ours is to ensure that we bring back Enugu to that preeminent position. We're going to be,
You clearly seem to be struggling with your earpiece. Can I just ask?
I'm getting a feedback.
I'm sure you would have some people assisting you there. If I would just ask our engineer there to switch on the TV set in front of you and see if they can perhaps manage the audio from the TV set there in your home. So this is a live program, by the way. So I mean, you should be able to hear me comfortably, and then you should be able to respond. If that's okay, can we just have the engineer switch on the TV set there in your home? We can just and then we can manage with the audio there, if that's fine. Your Excellency, can you hear me right from your home there? From the TV set? It might be delayed a bit.
Yes, I can hear you.
Fantastic, fantastic. I think we'll just make do with the audio from the TV set and see how it goes from there. Do you want to land on your thoughts? You were talking about inherent potential in Enugu State that could perhaps help you fast track the desired development that you've envisioned for the state, as it were.
Yes, so what we said is that we have that platform already in place. So what we need to do is to build on that. And we've taken a bold view of how we can grow, of course, our economy because of the platform that we're inheriting. And that platform means that we can take advantage of what Enugu, the brand name, represents. In terms of agriculture, we have a robust plan to grow our agriculture, scale up our production, and of course migrate the agriculture from just being for food, but also for expand it and extend it to export. But also in the different sectors of productivity, we also have robust plans, which we hope to basically build on what is already on ground. Of course, the area of social services, healthcare, education, we also have great plans. I'm sure if you
Yes, are you still struggling with the earpiece? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me at all? Yes, if you can hear me, I would like for you to respond by. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Okay, fantastic. You can hear me now. Can you? Great.
I can hear you.
Oh, sorry. We're so sorry for the very apparent break in I wouldn't say transmission, but in the poor audio quality that we seem to be getting this night. This is understandable. It's technology. Sometimes technology fails you. I'm sorry this is happening at this point in time in the course of our conversation with you. But I've heard all of the plans that you've built out, quite laudable, I must say, and quite expansive. And very laudable as well is the fact that you fixed that time frames to some of the targets that you've set for your administration or incoming administration. I am wondering, with all of these plenty, targets and goals that you've set, knowing what we know about the grievances emanating from certain quarters there in the Enugu state concerning the outcome of the elections, is there a likelihood that you will not get distracted in the course of discharging these mandates, especially with court cases and tribunal sittings and all of that? How do you? I mean, are you promising the people of Enugu State that you would, in spite of anything, or you would remain focused on the task at hand?
We have already set forth at dawn in the task of governance. So we believe that what is before us, is we've played politics, and this is not the time for politics. We believe we cannot afford to fail our people. We cannot afford to be distracted. We have to remain fully focused on governance. The message we presented to our people, the programs we presented to our people resonated with them, and I think that was why they chose us as their preference. And so what we need to focus now is to make sure that that dividend, that democratic dividend, is spread across the entire state. And that's what we're going to be focusing on. We will not be distracted. We will not, because frankly, we were not vague to our people. When we presented ourselves, we were clear to them as to the things we want to achieve within the time frame we have. So we also have front-loaded a lot of the things we need to do, because if we have indeed given ourselves very strict timelines, we're so in a hurry to ensure that our people begin to feel the impact of governance. So, and of course, we cannot afford to fail, and we will not be distracted.
This you keep mentioning timelines. I'm constrained to ask because, in fact, as a matter of law now, the constitution of your cabinet within 60 days of following your inauguration has become a function of law. And now and not at your discretion anymore. I am wondering, since you said you finished, you've started, or rather you finished all you need to do in the early days following your inauguration. I'm wondering if your list, for your cabinet list, is complete, and I would like to know what quality you're looking for, or that you've looked for in persons that you hope to delegate responsibilities and powers to in order to deliver on your mandate.
So please, can you take that question again,
Okay,
please?
yes, I was asking about the quality of your cabinet, considering that I suspect very strongly too that it's an issue you may have handled. It may have been part of your early plans as well, constitution of cabinet. So I was saying that it's no longer a function of discretion. It is now a matter of law that you must have a cabinet in place 60 days after your inauguration. I was wondering if your cabinet list is ready, and what quality constitutes or would make up the the persons that you're delegating responsibilities and powers to.
Oh, well, I don't think we need 60 days to constitute our cabinet. If, as I mentioned to you, that we're already dealing with reducing our campaign promises to actionable timelines, so we do not have the luxury of waiting 60 days before the impact of governance is felt by our people, before we constitute our cabinet. But what is prominent in our minds is, of course, the quality of people, because we do believe that as laudable as our programs, or indeed as the development plans we've espoused may be, we also need the right skills to be able to execute them, and to be able to implement them. So we may have a great output target across the functional areas of governance, but we do indeed, even when we have crafted great strategies as well, we do indeed need the right skills, the right people to be able to implement those strategies. And yes, so we're going to be mindful of those. We're going to be mindful of the things we have promised our people, the strategies we've developed, and those who will be able to execute those strategies.
Okay, you've talked about agriculture, you've talked about commerce, you've talked about creating, and building small and medium enterprises. I did, during the campaigns, I actually had the opportunity to also take a good look at your manifesto, and it will be quite intriguing to see how that plays out over the course of 4 years, of course. But I know that from day one, Enugu that you've made all of the promises to would want to see changes. I mean, changes that could also signal a harbinger of better things to come. Your Excellency, tell us what the people are likely to, the people of Enugu are likely to see May 29. Perhaps perhaps it comes as a radical shock, or it comes as a signal of what is to come.
Again, we've continually said that we are going to unlock our rural economy. We're going to be able to open up the rural areas. So even also in terms of, because we started this discussion with discussion around security and all that. So it's our firm belief that one of the major root causes of insecurity is unemployment and poverty, and so in order for us to address that frontally, we must implement programs that would accelerate our youth employment, so that way we can deal with the fragilities in rural areas. So I will see agriculture playing a very critical role in that regard, and that's why we speak about scaling up our production and also attracting commercial farmers, so that we can revamp agriculture for food and export. So agriculture will not just be to guarantee our food, but beyond that, we are also going to make Enugu State an export hub for, so we are going to process these the agri produce, and then of course be able to also export them, and that way would create huge employment. And then you talked about the micro, small, medium scale businesses. Now for us, again, the MSMEs are the engine room of any economy, and so what we intend to do in that regard is to make sure that we have a seed funds that can support our micro, small, medium scale businesses. And we're looking at initially setting up a seed fund of about 100 billion naira, where we can use to support the micro, small, medium enterprises, and of course enhance the skills of our young people and make sure we prepare them to create that environment and opportunity for them to flourish.
Great, fantastic. Some of these targets are medium term, some are long term. I was looking for the micro short term, day one targets, but I get, and I applaud all of these targets that you've set and the timelines that you've set for them as well. I take a look at your profile. I mean, you are a maritime lawyer, you are the founder and chief executive officer of Pinnacle Oil and Gas, a politician, now governor-elect, soon to become governor of the state. I mean, you seem like someone with an underlying philosophy of, how do I describe it now, self-improvement, and focus, I am wondering if this would define your leadership style, and perhaps how it would also engender followership in Enugu State, as it were. Did you get my question?
So could you repeat the last bit?
I was actually being a hype man for you, Your Excellency, if you heard me. I talked about you being a maritime lawyer, being the founder of Pinnacle Oil and Gas, politician, governor-elect, soon to be governor of Enugu State. And then I said, all of what you seem to have accomplished over time does make it seem like you are a man with an underlying philosophy of self-improvement and focus. So I am wondering how this will shape your leadership style and perhaps translate to inspiring followership, in Enugu State. You know what they say about leading by example.
Yeah, th- th- thank you very much for those remarks. And that's essentially what we've made before in the Enugu. We challenge them to interrogate our antecedents, our past, to look at the things that we've done in the private sector, to look at how we have been able to grow a small business to a very large business today, how we got into a mature industry and were able to play a leadership role within the short time we have participated in that space by using a disruptive innovation, by identifying a compelling business problem and providing solutions to it. How we've been able to lead people and get them to buy into a vision and be able to work to achieve and realize the vision of the corporation. And that's the same leadership style we want to bring to bear in Enugu State. We want to be able to disrupt some of the suboptimization and to make sure that we optimize across all the sectors. And then we want to be able to also lead with the same style we used in the private sector, where we got people to buy into our vision and become also the driver of realizing that vision. So that's the leadership style we bring to bear.
Your Excellency, I'd like for us to quickly round off our conversation by showing you a box that we have on the screen. I'll ask my director to just put the box on the screen. It's a segment that we'll call Ticking the Boxes. There'll be a couple of items on the box. I would like for us to do this real quick in 60 seconds, if that's possible. Can the director just put there it is. You would see it on your screen, Your Excellency. Please just take a look. There'll be like 4 items on the box. Can you see that now? Can you see that now? Your Excellency, can you see the items on the screen there? The target?
Portable. Yes, I can.
Yes, great. Let's begin with the first item on the box. Portable water supply. You already talked about that. You think that's something you can achieve in 100 days, or you need, say, about 2 years or 4 years to achieve that?
So portable public water supply, we need 180 days, 60% reduction in crime and security within the first 100 days, improvement of healthcare services. That's already something we're going to start off immediately. So we're also working within the first 100 days. 35% women inclusion. Of course, that's within the short to medium term. We'll achieve that.
That's for 2 years.
So within the first 180 days, we'll do number 1. Reduction of crime, that should also fit into 100 days. Well, we are doing 2 years. That's even very generous.
And then the last one?
Improvement of healthcare, that's the starting immediately, 100 days. Yeah, so I will do 2 years for the last one.
For the last one. Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
Women inclusion.
Real quick. That was real quick. No. The last one is for 2 years and not for 100 days. Please, yes, fantastic. Your Excellency, I would like to thank you so much for coming on the program tonight. I know it's been a quick one. Sorry for the audio glitches that we've had there. We would work on that subsequently. And of course, your administration come May 29 is something we would also be monitoring. We have our zonal center there in Enugu. Of course, would be on top of events, will be on top of your activities, and we'll be following through to see how things go. I'd like to thank you so much, Dr. Peter Mbah, Governor-elect for Enugu State, for coming on the ballot, on the mandate, I beg your pardon, on the mandate tonight. Thank you so much for being our guest.
Thank you very much, Nandi. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you.
And that's it for tonight on The Mandate. We'll see you again on Monday when we return with a fresh episode of the program. On Monday, we will be coming back at 10:05 p.m. our normal time, well, for Mondays. Well, my name is Namdi Odibo. I'll see you then.